You're welcome. Hello. So we've got Citizens Advice Bureau, Christchurch area. Ronnie, how are you?
And he will be part of this presentation. Okay. I'm just, trying to figure out how to work the... Right, there we go. We're not going to spend very long talking about us because I think most people are fairly familiar with the work that we do. We've been operating for 53 years, as you know. We're quite a large organisation. We have 100 volunteers who work a minimum of 3 hours a week, give their time. We have only one paid worker, and we have a large number as well of support workers, many of whom are law students and people keen to actually give their time and be involved in ways that they can find the time to do. As you know, our service is universal. Anyone who turns up to see us, we are very, very happy to do all we can to help them with any issue whatsoever. Thought you might be interested to see just how many people we do have going through our doors, metaphorically. 15,000 in the last year, up till April this year. We run, as you well know, a large number of clinics. We run several law clinics. We have an immigration legal clinic as well, employment law. We run an ACC. We have large numbers of people come to our JP clinics, tech support, CV workshops, as well as that we also run a form filling clinic. And we run a clinic, we've got clinics in different parts of the city. So we have taken on a lot of extra work over the last few years. And one of the reasons for that is because there are lots of gaps appearing around the city, and we're having to pick up and fill a lot of those gaps. So one of those is tenancy. We're looking also down the whatever of budgeting being another huge area where people are needing lots of support. So we're picking up a lot. The kinds of things that we're dealing with most of the time now are employment, surprise, surprise. Relationships, because there's huge fallout in terms of relational issues, family disputes, all of those kinds of things. And the other major area is around tenancy. So those are, at the moment, some of the key things coming through. The reason we want to talk to you today really is about funding. Neil, do you want to say something here?
Well, obviously the funding is absolutely critical for us. We're totally aware of the pressure on local bodies. I'm actually the national president of CAB New Zealand, and we're seeing local bodies throughout the country being really pressured. But we're picking up areas and picking up issues through our volunteers and their training, which the community is getting free because of the nature of our organisation. We really do see ourselves as a must-have rather than a nice-to-have in every community. That was reflected in Auckland, the big debate in Auckland last year when the City Council was looking at ripping $2 million, which comes from the Auckland City Council, to CABs away. They backed off on that because they realised the quality of what we're doing.
Yeah, and I guess one of the things that's come through very strongly from a piece of recent research, where we actually do have research on this, is that every dollar that's invested in work that we do is worth nearly $14 return. So we do actually have statistical stuff on that. What we are really arguing for, and certainly in terms of the long-term plan, is that you keep your funding portals as open as you possibly can for community organisations like us. We don't have the luxury of being able to get extra money from corporates because we are so independent, but we do feel very strongly that we would love to see more priority and funding given in working in partnership with community non-governmental organisations like ours, so that we can continue to grow and support the community, because we are seeing increasing need and increasingly complex lives that people are leading, and that's coming through in the types of things that present to us. So we would love to see a written commitment to increasing that funding.
And one area that we do a lot of work in is when people contact the City Council about driveways, neighbours, trees, fences, the standard response is go and talk to CAB, and we're very happy to do that. But that's something that we can do with our volunteers. They can take time to talk to the people who have those concerns, and there are an awful lot of them in Christchurch at the moment.
Okay, so thank you.
Oh, good. Tyrone and Kelly, then Celeste. Was it? I didn't see.
Yeah,
Which was yeah. Yep. Thank you.
Just a very quick question, and thank you for the work that you do. Do you provide services to the to residents of the surrounding territorial authorities like Selwyn and Waimakariri, and do you pitch to them for funding as well?
We do for Selwyn, and we do have a tiny little bit of funding from them, which just literally goes back to them and pays for the space that we use. But yeah,
North Canterbury, Waimakariri have
Yeah.
their own CAB.
yeah, they've got their own.
So
yeah,
nothing goes that way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. Our priority is here. We do get some phone calls from around, obviously, the wider area. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you, Kelly.
Thanks for that, and yeah, thanks for the amazing work that you do. Do you have any idea what sort of percentage of your queries would be about council-related kind of issues, and would it be advantageous if, say,
Redirect it to you.
a councillor came along occasionally and then helped redirect the queries to the councillor whose area it would be from, hopefully Jake. But yeah, would that be useful?
Not quite sure what you're asking here.
No, neither am I. No, so effectively I'm asking, obviously you've got people coming to you for queries about council, which I'm sure you'd struggle to answer. Would it be useful if there was someone from council, like a councillor who came along maybe for an hour once a week or something like that, and then directed those queries to the right people within?
Not so much about council the queries are about. It's about their neighbourhood issues and the response is, I'll ring up the city council and get them to sort out my driveway. We're happy to do that. In fact, I think that it's sort of bread and butter for us to do. But beyond that, we don't get many, do we?
No, it usually tends to be trees, neighbourhood, driveways, those kinds of things, linns, land, all of those sorts of issues. Yeah.
Yep, that's what I do. All right,
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks for the offer.
Yeah, we're always really happy to see any councillors come along to our meetings. We meet every month for training. We do run really rigorous training for all of our people because we're generalists. We have to keep up to date with all the law changes and everything that are happening. So that's part of how we operate. Yeah.
Celeste?
Oh, I just want to say thank you, but also I just noticed you mentioned I didn't know this, but you sort out disputes. Can you give an example? So say there was a noise complaint and some of that was just about probably communication. Would you go in and have a chat to them both?
No, we don't do that because we give information. We're not advocates. But we certainly would point people to where they can get that really practical information or help that they need.
One area we do get involved in, and it is often complex, is around immigration issues. And I mean, I had a case recently. I could have spent hours finding it, but Immigration New Zealand have given us a hotline number that public can't access, but I was able to ring a person in Immigration New Zealand. They gave me an answer after they thought about it for 10 minutes, and the client went away very happy, having a positive answer for the question. So we do have those sorts of options that we can get through to people that other people can't.
Thank you. And lastly, Mark, please.
Thank you. Are you finding much difference in your presence in Hornby now that the library has disappeared from the other half of the building?
Not at the moment, no. So we're just looking ahead to that. We have our third branch, which is our city branch. We've just moved out to New Brighton, so we're in the process now of building relationships with all of the community organisations out in that part of the town.
And the number of walk-ins we get there, people will come and knock on our door rather than ring, is really increasing quite rapidly.
And which is great because people actually want face-to-face because they so often don't get face-to-face opportunities with most of the government departments who often refer them to us.
Couldn't agree with you more. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you very much for giving us the time.
Thank you. Virginia, please.